What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Universim Season 2 and the final episode of Season 2. Mainly because I kind of did it anyway. I don't see what the point of going any further is. Without the full release, it seems a bit daft. I have colonized the moon. You can see down in the bottom right-hand corner. It is fully set up with clouds and water and so many trees. It's unbelievable because you can see my creator points are going up like mad. The two animals that you unlock on the moon I have unlocked, both the snake fox and the rabbit pine thing. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, so you can see what we're looking at now. The terraformer is there on the right hand side, and to the left of it is the cloud maker. All of the resources for this are coming from the planet, set to automatically bring them. So for the terraformer you need fuel and chemicals, which are being sent from the Earth, and for the cloud thing there you can see it just needs gas. All of that is being done, all of that is being sent up. They will activate shortly. Though, to be honest, it's already kind of done anyway. Based on the trees, the amount of trees that I've put down and the water that I've used the trickle spell for, it's pretty much sorted. We'll get around probably just getting them a... you can see a farm there in the background for the animals as well. We'll get one of them tamed up as well. And then lastly, a garage just for swagger points for the vehicles flying around on the moon. There is also, as you can see as well, hot air balloons. The snake fox is domesticated, so we'll go straight in the farm and get that on the go. There are no herbs because there are no herbs on the moon, so I will set up for them to be delivered as well. Again, there is a lot of infrastructure you can do for self-sustainability on the moon, but I don't really see the worth of that when I've got plenty in my main planet. So we'll get it from there. Obviously, when we go for the alpha build and we get planets, I will make the planet self-sufficient. Moons not so much, but planets certainly self-sufficient. You can see there is actually the epicenter now. That spawns after you remove the spaceship. Basically what happens is, once you've got the oxygen and the planet is safe for people, or the nuggets to live, you can remove it. It then gives you that, which allows you to start then voting and build your temple, which then you can create your creator points on the moon planet itself. I still think they should be separate, and I shouldn't be able to use the creator points from Earth on the moon. It would make it a lot more difficult to get to this stage. The creator points themselves are what makes it so easy to survive on the moon, in my opinion. Filling up the water and the forests. I could, I suppose, say I'm not allowed to do that. But it's part of the game mechanics, so why wouldn't I? Likely there is going to be a third season, because we do have time. It is only the 4th, as I'm speaking now, of January. So we do have 18 days until the full release is released. So likely I will do a third one. Up to you guys, of course. Any comments towards that will certainly make it happen. Any options or choices or changes to the settings to do that, I will say obviously combustion is going to be the power source instead of kinetic, so we will go combustion, and then really probably solar, because I don't really be wanting to using combustion and nuclear at the same time, because that sounds a resource sink. Although the nuclear is pretty stable as long as you've got the infrastructure and easy 1000 power. So we'll see. I'll see what you think. As it stands, I'm trying to show you the animals in the farm, but obviously we can't because we don't have the food for it yet. And I'm just waiting on fuel to be delivered to the terraformer to actually get it to work, where it starts giving us space grass, as I want to call it. It's basically just looks like money plants or succulents, whatever you call them, if you know what that type of plant is. So returning to Earth just to make sure everything is okay. There's a random fire on the mountain. No idea why. What caused that? Not sure. Blip or aliens? Who knows? You can see now it's very, very futuristic over here. Everybody's flying around. There's plenty of flying vehicles to go. But we'll get into this now. So thank you very much for a comment from a viewer, and I will post them up on the screen now. There is actually an additional building that does the negative effect to your CO2 levels, which is 1% fixed, and that is indeed the lumber camp. So I've built a few extra of them. The overall now for us is minus, I think, 3%. So every year or whatever it does it in the ratios, we lose 3%, which means that our pollution will remain 0, because 0 take away 3% is always going to be 0. Secondly, the same person mentioned that the cloud generators generate clouds which automatically refill your lakes and in turn keep the pollution down. I've also done that, and so far so good. So again, thank you for that. Just going over here for Sweden 3.0, so the bridge that's Sweden. It has been upgraded a few times. Unfortunately, it resets the number, but there's nothing we can do about that. Looking overall at the city, there are the 2 cloud makers working away. I don't know why I built 2. I just felt like I wanted to. I don't know. They only use gas and power, but seem quite simple. And then it makes a cloud, and once it finishes the cloud then blows away. Looking over here, a gas mine, you can see is indeed run out of gas, so I will deconstruct that as per my normal plan. But I have the sense to look at how much gas I'm using, because I'm realizing the cloud makers are very expensive. I believe we're using about 27 per, and I'm only making about 10 or 11, if memory serves. So I'll just go around and dump a load of gas mines down. Again, this is the final episode, so likely they may not get all finished. But the game save will remain anyway, so we can always go back to it should we need to in the future. These could be test worlds, I don't know. Even put one there next to the random airport. The only thing I didn't build was the hypertubes, which I did say I wasn't going to, because unless anybody's got any ideas about why they're useful, I don't think they are. They move around. If you give them the vehicles, they move around pretty quick anyway. And you can't have midpoints in the... A lot of meteors, as you've seen, have landed over the time, but I don't need them, because we've unlocked everything we need to unlock. We've got all of the discovery points. In fact, we've got 228 more than we need. Creator points are going through the roof. Everything, to be honest, is quite stable and happy with it. I would personally say that this is successful from both the Earth and Moon standpoint. But we could just jump back over to the Moon and have a look at that again. So coming straight in on the Moon, as you can see, 72 vehicles out of 100. There's only 72 people on the Moon, and currently 3 children. Yes, 3 children. So that'll keep them going and getting them moving around as much as possible. I am not using much of a footprint on the Moon. The rest of it is just trees, and lots of them. Many, many more than you need. I think it needs about 2,500, and there's about 7,000. So, oh no, the numbers are there. It's 9,700, and it needs 6,000, as you can see. Obviously, that number will fluctuate because they are cutting them down. The terraformer will start growing new ones. I'm not doing anymore. My creator points are already pushing 1,000 yet again. But I think overall, we can say we're happy with what we are, or where we're at, right? There's another snake fox, so that's one of the 2 species that's unlocked on the Moon. And we are actually farming them, and they do have food there. Just zooming in here and finally found the additional animal that spawns, and there it is. Very small. It's called a hopine. I don't know how you want to say that. It basically looks like a rabbit kangaroo-y type with a frilled collar, like a frilled dragon. Not sure. But they are the only 2 that are showing up to be available on the Moon. Whether that's increased or there are new ones with the patch, I don't know yet. I did try and pick him up and move him over to the centre of the village just to bring him into the town, but for some reason, even though I only dropped him what looks like a foot off the floor, he exploded. That's not my fault, so nobody call RSPCA on that one. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to just bring him into the centre of the city so everybody could stroke him. Though you probably shouldn't stroke random alien animals, but anyway. And we're back at the main city where we started from the very beginning of this season 2. Not much more I can say really. This is going to be a much shorter episode than normal. Not sure how much shorter, but shorter nevertheless. But this is where we started. You can see that there was 1% pollution in that lake, or the ocean that I've been using since the very beginning. but that used to push up to 25 quite quickly. So overall, I'm pretty happy with that. 24 Nuggetoids in total in here. I never got them back because I realised that you had to actually build the space transport building on the moon to actually send it back here, and that was far too much of a resource drain. Looking here, it looks stunning going through the city with all these flying vehicles flying around, and to be honest, it was a fun go around. The exiles I did kill off. I had to do it off the video though, because it did cause a lot of problem with lag. Once I was sending sort of 30 different characters, nuggets over, it just caused too much lag and it wasn't very usable for the video. And I think really just to end this off, why not have a quick look at our main town where it all started. We have 969, of course it is, points to spend. That's enough for 3 meteors. So let's drop them. Just for the shits and giggles, as they say. Incoming meteors, no shields, no bunkers. Lots of ding-dongs in the bottom right-hand corner. Yes, it's going to kill some nuggets. I'm not sure how many. It didn't do as much damage as I thought, although it has done a lot of damage. It could have been worse. I remember all of them buildings you can click on and just click rebuild. But we did kill about 40 nuggets according to the counter that is still counting up. On that note though, that is the end of this episode and this season. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments, of course, are welcome. For Season 3, please go ahead and let me know your thoughts on any changes or additions you want me to do. Subscribe for more, like if you like. Take care. Goodbye.